It's that time of year again. It's springtime. The sun's out, it's nice out, and there's a whole mess of things to do outside. And when I'm out here doing stuff, whether it's yard work or bumping around in the garage or even just hanging out on the back porch with my kid, I want a beer. Something cold and crisp and light. A pilsner maybe, or a Mexican lager, or even an American light beer. But beach season is coming. Gotta get that beach body. Now, I don't necessarily care about a beach body specifically, but general health matters. Fitness, like actually being able to physically do things, matters. And I gotta be at a wedding later this year, and if my suit doesn't fit by then, I'm gonna have to go spend $600 on a new one that I'm gonna wear once. And my winter bulk last year went on for like a year and a half. This is hop water, and it actually works. Of all the things you could be drinking, beer is basically the worst option if you're trying to cut and be lean or just generally be healthy. And I say that as someone who likes beer and makes beer on YouTube. Wine is full of nutritional benefits, so they say. You know, antioxidants and stuff. Whiskey is just the alcohol. It doesn't have any of the sugar or any of the rest of that junk. This is what you want to drink if you're trying to get drunk on a cut. Beer though, beer has alcohol, but it also has sugar and grain and all kinds of other junk. This is liquid bread. It's basically the junk food of alcoholic drinks. Now, I love it. I make it. I'm not going to tell you to stop drinking it. I'm not going to stop drinking it. But when I'm out here doing something physical on a nice sunny day, I don't actually need the beer part. I don't need to get drunk. What I'm actually craving is that cold, crisp, refreshing, slightly bitter, hoppy sort of a thing. You know, the experience. And it turns out, you can just make that. Hop water's actually pretty trendy lately. It's been around for a few years at this point, and there's a ton of commercial versions available. And most of them are fine. But from what I've seen, pretty much all of them, both the commercial versions and the homebrew recipes, they're all going for that hazy IPA sort of a thing. It's tropical fruit hops, no bitterness, all aroma. It's just dry hopping some water. There's even one I get sometimes that basically just tastes like pineapple LaCroix, which, yeah, that's good, but when I want beer, I don't want pineapple LaCroix. Again, on a nice, sunny, spring or summer day, Pilsner's what I'm usually craving. Noble hops, a little bit of bitterness, that crisp refreshingness, the full spectrum of hop flavor. And actually, you can go with any hops you like, any recipe you're into. IPA style, Pilsner style, do something weird. I've done all of it. This batch right here uses a Pilsner style hop schedule, using the same hops that I use quite often in my beers and ciders and all kinds of other things. And Hallertau Blanc is the cornerstone. Boil 1 gallon of water for 45 minutes with your hops. That's it. That's all there is to it. It's just water and hops. This batch was vaguely derived from Highland's Pilsner and my fantasy draft beer. And on that note, my Pils style cider. Full video on that coming later this summer. Saaz at 45 minutes for a touch of bitterness and that classic noble character. Hersbrucker at 10 minutes for a woody sort of spice layer. And Hallertau Blanc at flame out for the floral, slightly winey flavor and aroma that ties the whole thing together. Altogether, it's only 10 IBUs, but that's plenty given that there's literally nothing else for the bitterness and hoppy flavor to fight with. When the boil is done, I just dump it straight into my keg and top it off with 2 gallons of cold water. That brings it up to 3 gallons total and it immediately crashes the temperature down past that 180 degrees Fahrenheit hop isomerization threshold, which locks in that late stage hop flavor instead of just extracting more bitterness. If you want to do like 5 gallons or 10 gallons or 20 gallons or whatever, you can still just boil 1 gallon and top it off with whatever else to bring it up to full volume. Just be sure to scale the hop additions accordingly. Then comes the dry hop. I add Hallertau Blanc in a hop sack to the keg and leave it for 2 days. But after 2 days, you need to pull it out. With this one, I kind of messed that up. I tried to pull it out, but the hop sack sank to the bottom of the keg and I couldn't get it. So don't do what I did. The hop sack really does need to come out after 2 days. Hop matter sitting in there for weeks gets vegetal, and you'll definitely taste it. So pull the hop sack, seal the keg, put it on gas, and you're done. One thing though that I do feel like I need to mention, sanitization is really important here. Hop water doesn't have any alcohol and it doesn't have a low pH to protect it from like bacteria and stuff. So keep everything clean. Is it a beer? No. There's no malt backbone, there's no alcohol, there's no really any of the things that you would typically, think of as beer character. I'm not gonna sit here and try to convince you otherwise. But here's the thing. On a hot sunny day like this, when it's nice out and you're doing stuff outside, and you reach for something cold and crisp and refreshing, this isn't that far off of like a Bud Light or a Coors Light. In fact, it's almost a little bit better in a certain kind of way. It's got more hop character and better hop flavor and just more flavor overall. You get that Hallertau Blanc, winey, like floral kind of a flavor and just a touch of bitterness from the sauce. It's a good amount for me, but if you're not a hophead like I am, it might be a little too much for you. If that's the case, just dial it back a little bit. The Herzbrucker is actually contributing quite a bit of flavor in this and it gives it that woodiness. I've used Herzbrucker in a lot of different things, but I feel like in this batch specifically, it's really shining through more than usual. Okay, so I've talked about this already, but this batch here has quite a bit more vegetal character than it really should. It legitimately has a hop burn and a dankness that just doesn't fit with a pill style anything. And that's because I left the hop sack in too long. It still tastes like what it was supposed to be, just with all that vegetal character and dankness. It's not terrible, but I think hop burn also doesn't bother me as much as it bothers a lot of people. It definitely would have been a lot cleaner and just better if I'd gotten the hop sack out in time. So that's on me, and I'm just telling you so you don't make the same mistake I did. At its best, which is what it usually is when I make it, it's crisp, it's dry, it's refreshing, it's pleasantly hoppy with bitterness and flavor and aroma. It scratches the itch without actually being beer. And I can chug a whole 40-ounce tumbler and it's not even bad for me. 0 calories, 0 alcohol. If anything, I just end up more hydrated. It scratches the itch. Not every itch, because if I actually want a beer, I'll go get a beer. But if on a nice sunny day, all I want is something crisp and refreshing and hoppy, this is the move. I'll have the recipe for this one over on the website as always. But honestly, you can use whatever hops you have on hand, whatever recipe you're into right now. You can do German noble hops and do like a pilsner sort of a vibe, like with this one. Or American fruity citrusy hops and do like an IPA kind of a thing. Feel free to mix it up. The process is the same regardless. But be sure to get that hop sack out. Don't do what I did with this one. Now stay hydrated and go make something worth drinking.